Hey, I'm Jamey from Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about a non-tabletop game with some tabletop connections called disc golf. I've talked about disc golf on this channel before. It's a sport, an outdoor game, a dexterity game that I really enjoy, where you're throwing discs, plastic discs, at baskets and trying to land the discs in the basket. Um, I recently tried a new format of this sport, this game, that was new to me, and I thought it was really clever. Basically, a friend hosted a tournament, an official type of tournament that is associated with a company that creates a trilogy of discs. So normally, when you play disc golf, everyone has their own discs. You show up at the course with your friends, and you play 9 or 18 holes. With your discs. You pick the disc that you want to throw on every throw, and you get to decide what discs are in your bag, basically. But at this trilogy tournament, everyone shows up, and they are given the exact same three discs. They're given a disc that is built for putt and approach. This is a disc that's slower. It's usually used for shorter shots. They're given a mid-range. These are the discs themselves. They're given a mid-range disc. This is used for mid-range distances. And then they're given a fairway driver. Here is the fairway driver that we have. I actually really ended up liking this disc. Most of us had never thrown these discs before. They were new to us. And everyone went out on the course and played around at Unger here in St. Louis. But these tournaments happen all over, and we compared our scores to each other. I thought this was a really neat format. A frustrating one at times. I had a very slow start as I was trying to learn how these discs fly, because I'm very used to seeing a certain type of shot. Like if I need to go right around some trees to get to a basket, I have a very specific disc that I use for that. So it was a very different challenge to learn these discs. But over the course of the 18 baskets, I got more and more accustomed to them and the little tweaks and adjustments that I needed to make to get these discs to work for me. But I just love that we were all essentially on an even playing ground. It added a lot of equity to the game in that none of us had the advantage of having the fanciest discs, the better disc, a bigger collection of discs. We all had the exact same three discs to throw. So it was all about your ability to adapt to these discs and use them to the best of your ability. And it made me think a lot about tabletop games, the type of tabletop games that give players the exact same things, the exact same tools to use in the game. So games that have no asymmetry at all, and games where you have an advantage of money, say in a collectible card game, doesn't matter at all because everyone starts out with the same exact thing. There are a bunch of games that do this. There are plenty of deck building games where everyone starts out with the same exact deck and you build out from there. But it also made me think of games that are traditionally so asymmetric, like Magic the Gathering, where you show up for a Magic the Gathering tournament and you bring a deck that you created for that tournament, or even you open packs at that tournament, you do draft, and you end up with a very different deck than anyone else. Imagine a Magic tournament where everyone had to use the same exact set of cards, not necessarily in your deck, but you had to construct your deck from the same 200 or 300 cards. How that would play out, how interesting that would be. But yeah, I really enjoyed this format. I thought it was a really interesting format to play with. And if you do play disc golf, I'd recommend giving it a try. Like this company, Trilogy, or Dynamic Disc, I believe is the company. It's called their Trilogy Challenge. There might be a tournament in your area that does this, but you could also probably create it on your own with your friends and just say, okay, we're all going to use the same three discs today. Let's see how it goes. And if you want to do that with Stonemeyer discs, we do sell discs on our website. They're custom Stonemeyer stamps, so you could pick the same a putter, a mid-range, and a distance driver, and everyone could use those same three discs for a round and just see how it goes. So yeah, really neat format that made me think a lot about tabletop games and the different tools that we have at our disposal for tabletop games and in games with different mechanisms. And I wanted to share it with you because I do love this sport, and I don't really talk about it all that much on the game mechanism, these style of videos, because I already covered the game at one point. So I thought it was fun to bring it up again. So yeah, the Disc Golf Trilogy Challenge, that is my favorite mechanism. The idea that everyone is playing with the exact same three discs. And thanks to Eric for organizing the recent tournament here in St. Louis. Thanks.